Okay, so आज हम जो है we'll do algorithms for linear system of equations. So this is a different set of problems. और लेकिन जो ये प्रॉब्लम है जैसे आप काफी ज्यादा फेमिलियर हैं इस चीज से ऑलरेडी अब कि जो साइमल्टेनियस सोल्यूशन है एक सेट ऑफ इक्वेशंस का लीनियर इक्वेशंस का दैट्स वन ऑफ द फंडामेंटल थिंग दैट अपीयर इन अ वाइड रेंज ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स. आप फिजिक्स मैथ किसी भी साइंस इंजीनियरिंग में ऑलमोस्ट कोई भी जो प्रॉब्लम है अल्टीमेटली बॉइल्स डाउन टू अ सेट ऑफ कपल्ड लीनियर इक्वेशंस. इवन जो नॉन लीनियर इक्वेशंस हैं मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम वी अप्रोक्सीमेट देम विद लीनियर टर्म्स. और इसी तरह बहुत सारी इवन जो डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन वाले सिस्टम्स हैं ultimately they are also reduced to a set of non-linear equation, a set of linear equations, linear algebraic equation. So ये जो problem है it's ubiquitous and an extremely important part of computational set of problems. तो उसके लिए आज हम दो एल्गोरिदम्स करेंगे. एक जो फंडामेंटल एल्गोरिदम है आई थिंक 2008-9 में HHL एल्गोरिदम के नाम से वो मशहूर है. वो उन लोगों ने तीन लोगों ने ये प्रेजेंट किया था. सो दैट्स वन बेसिक फ्रेमवर्क फॉर दिस एल्गोरिदम. उसके आगे काफी वेरिएशंस लोगों ने इंट्रोड्यूस की हुई हैं बट इट स्टिल गोज बैक द सेम एल्गोरिदम अगेन एंड अगेन. और जो दूसरा एल्गोरिदम हम करेंगे आज इंट्रोड्यूस वो भी इसी लीनियर सिस्टम ऑफ इक्वेशन के लिए बट दैट्स अ वेरिएशनल एल्गोरिदम. सो हम एक ही प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के जो दो तरीके हैं उनको आज देखेंगे. और इन दो एल्गोरिदम के बाद essentially you can then start thinking about applying this quantum computing algorithm to a host of problem in many disciplines. engineering में physics में let's say आप कोई भी physical problem है fluid mechanics optics electromagnetics. If you can convert your problem into set of algebraic equation then you can use this algorithm to solve the problem. So that's sort of as generic as Hamiltonian simulation techniques and other problem. अगरचे इसके अंदर Hamiltonian simulation as a subroutine इस्तेमाल होगी but this is the fundamental algorithm. और just to give you a look ahead, तो आज हम जो लीनियर सिस्टम है उसके लिए मेथड डिस्कस करेंगे बट देन द नेक्स्ट 2 weeks आई एम गोइंग टू फोकस on solving atomic and molecular physics problems on quantum computer, जिसमें we will start from the usual Hamiltonian जो कि आप atomic physics में देखते हैं, molecular physics में we will convert it into a language that you can implement on a quantum computer. We'll drive a Hamiltonian in terms of the gates, and then we will also work out a way of encoding your problem into qubit language. So the next 2 weeks हैं वो उस पे फोकस होंगे. So आज जो है हम linear system of equation पे कंसंट्रेट करते हैं. So जो क्लासिकल linear system of equations हैं वो प्रॉब्लम ये है. linear system problem it's actually this, that you have let's say some n by n matrix A and some vector x and some vector b. So b is given and you have to find x such that x is equal to A inverse b. ठीक है, ये आपने फाइंड करना. एंड अज्यूमिंग this A is singular, is non-singular, then you can compute A inverse. If it is singular, then there are many reduction techniques, Gauss elimination, etc., that can be used to solve this problem. So this is a linear system problem in classical domain. Here there's no restriction on A. A can be any matrix. Okay. B can be any column vector. The only restriction is that if A is non-singular, then we can find a unique solution. Okay. Then there's a corresponding quantum linear system problem, okay, which is inspired by this, but it's not exactly this. Okay, it's important to remember because solving this one exactly on quantum computer might actually be, more expensive than solving on a classical computer. But there's a corresponding problem. So this is a different problem. That's a different problem. But this is inspired by that. And the quantum problem is this, that given a Hermitian A, so the first, restriction on quantum is that A is not any matrix now, it's a Hermitian matrix. Find the state X such that, B is normalized. So usually some people use this symbol. So this essentially means that B has a unit magnitude. So our problem is this, that we have a normalized B vector, first of all, a Hermitian matrix A, and then we are interested in finding X such that, again, that X is, A inverse B. But now our state X might not be, a column vector where we know everything. It would be a state in superposition. ठीक है? So एक स्टेट का सुपरपोजिशन में होना और उसके सारे जो कंपोनेंट्स उनको फाइंड होना, these are two different things. And we know that if we have a solution in superposition state, to really speaking, finding all the probabilities, we have to run it many times, to sample all the coefficients. So that's not what we are going. So that's why I'm saying that we are not solving that problem. We are solving a similar problem. And it will become, a little bit clearer as we go on. So the algorithm for this actually is very simple. This is called HHL algorithm. Forgotten the name. I know this is Lloyd, Hasidim, and something like this. I can send you the paper. So this HHL algorithm, let's just see this algorithm. This is a simple algorithm. This actually exploits this thing. Okay, whenever you have a matrix A, you can always write it. If it is, a non-singular matrix and square matrix, we can write it as some U lambda, some U dagger, where this lambda is a diagonal matrix with eigenvalues of this matrix A, and this U is a matrix containing the eigenvectors of A corresponding to those eigenvalues. Okay? So which means that finding A inverse is essentially finding this lambda inverse. And this is easy, right? क्योंकि अगर आपके पास lambda जो है वो है, let's say lambda 1, lambda 2, all the way to lambda n, then lambda inverse is 1 over lambda 1, 1 over lambda 2, all the way to 1 over lambda. You just have to invert individual eigenvalues and you can find A inverse. So it means if we want to find this, we have to just figure out a way of finding the eigenvalues of this Hermitian matrix and then just inverting the individual scalar numbers. And then, we'll have to figure out the mechanics a little bit, the rest of it, but it's pretty, straightforward. And since we already know how to find the eigenvalues of Hermitian matrix, क्योंकि अगर आप इसको exponentiate कर दें, that if you convert a unitary matrix like this, then, it's the eigenvalue of A is essentially the phase of this U. So आप इसकी अगर इस पे quantum phase estimation implement कर दें, so you can find the eigenvalues of A directly. So we find the eigenvalues of A by finding the phases of eigenvalues of this unitary operator, and then we can implement this thing. And just a side comment, फर्ज करें अगर जो आपका given classical problem है, अगर आप इसके corresponding एक क्वांटम प्रॉब्लम कंस्ट्रक्ट करना चाह रहे हैं. सो दिस ए इज नॉट हर्मिशियन. सो यू कैन quickly construct a Hermitian A like this. Just add an extra qubit to double the size of your matrix, and then put your A here and A dagger here. So this becomes a Hermitian matrix. Whatever this A is, doesn't matter now. So आप ये ना समझें कि इसका हर्मिशियन होना कोई बहुत बड़ी रिस्ट्रिक्शन है which separates it from the classical problem. We can convert any general matrix to this thing very easily. Similarly जो B है उसके corresponding ये जो B है उसको normalize करना भी it's not a big deal. The only thing is this, इसके corresponding अब जो problem होगा, so हमें X state जो है वो भी सस करनी पड़ेगी, because this then gives the first row will give 0 plus AX is equal to B. So अब आपका जो A है वो ये हो जाएगा. So just the point is कि आप कोई भी जो general A है उसको easily you can transform into this part. Okay, so let's get back. इस point को आप लोग समझते हैं ना कि किसी Hermitian matrix का हम exponentiate करें तो become a unitary matrix, क्योंकि इसकी eigen values जो है वो कुछ भी हो सकती हैं. I mean in terms of magnitude they are real, but they can be 1 2 3 4 etc whatever. So like in quantum computer we can only implement unitary operator, and fortunately if we exponentiate a Hermitian matrix this becomes a unitary matrix. There's actually one trouble though, क्योंकि हम जब phase estimation से eigen values find करेंगे ना तो हमें पता है कि eigen values of this thing will lie between 0 and 2 pi, क्योंकि अगर 3 pi है तो we will read it as pi, जो mod, क्योंकि जो eigen values हैं we will get in mod 2 pi. So there are ways to make sure by using an appropriate value of t that are pre-scaling of A, that we make sure that the eigenvalues of this AT matrix are mapped to 0 and 2 pi. So this is something that has to be done, but other than that this can work. Of course there are other issues कि अगर इसकी जो condition number है which is the ratio of maximum eigenvalue and the minimum eigenvalue of this matrix A, if this is too high then this is an ill-conditioned matrix, and then its inversion have issues. जितनी जो inversion error है वो उतनी बढ़ती जाएगी. जैसे एक lambda 1 जो है it's like 0.0000123 etc. This is a million, so then there's a huge condition number. And in the worst case, if this lambda min is 0, that one of the eigenvalue is 0, it means your matrix is singular and its inverse doesn't exist classically, which means that if you implement quantum algorithm, the errors would be too many. So imagining that this k is not high enough, we can use this algorithm. Okay, so what's the algorithm? So algorithm is simple. Let's say we have this this register that has log n qubit. That if let's say this B is 8, then we need 3 qubit to represent this B matrix. And okay, so I'll come back to this. And then suppose we have some n bit register that we initialize to 0. So we are going to perform phase estimation actually on this operator U. So इस पे phase estimation करनी है to find eigenvalues of this A. So for that, let's say this is matrix U, and then अच्छा, मैं ये सिंबल यूज कर रहा हूँ, दिस रियली स्पीकिंग मीन्स, सो दिस इज अ हेडामार्ट ऑफ n क्यूबिट, के जो पहली क्यूबिट है वो कंट्रोल कर रही है u को, दूसरी क्यूबिट जो है वो u पावर 2 को, फिर तीसरी क्यूबिट u पावर 4 एंड सो ऑन. वी नो द QPE circuit. So this is a QPE part. And then we do inverse Fourier transform here. So this register will contain the eigenvalues of this. So this we already know from the QPE. So this is a QPE part, quantum phase estimation, and this operator, and we get eigenvalues here. Now see, let's see what is happening here. So this B vector can be written as a superposition of eigenvectors of this operator A. Remember, this operator U and this operator A, they share the same eigenvectors. क्योंकि ये similar matrices हैं, they are related by a function. The only difference के दोनों के eigenvalues different हैं. So इस A के फर्ज करें eigenvector हैं UJ. So since it forms a complete set, because we are assuming A to be non-singular, which means that we can write any vector as a linear superposition of these eigenvectors. So यहाँ पे जो हमें input जा रही है वो basically इसके eigenvectors का linear combination है. So it means that here we will have eigenvalues corresponding to whatever eigenvector comes here. So here, this is what is going on. Then all we have to do now is to figure out a way of multiplying this vector, this one with lambda inverse. क्यों? क्योंकि जो x जो हमें आउटपुट चाहिए, this is A inverse B. So writing this A in the basis of eigenvectors of this thing. So this is just lambda inverse, which means कि lambda inverse so it's just sorry, bj uj, so I can write sum over j bj lambda j inverse uj inverse. So it means कि जो हमारी state which we are looking for is just the linear superposition of eigenvectors of u with coefficient bj multiplied with lambda j inverse. जी बी तो हाँ, स्टेट को हमने इनिशियलाइज किया हुआ बी को, and we are assuming that we can prepare B from some unitary transformation applied on Z. Let me call it some UB. Okay. So this is another sort of drawback of this algorithm, that for this to efficiently work, we have to imagine that this B is coming efficiently from somewhere. Okay. Because you recall that we already have that a general state B is essentially itself require exponentially many gates to prepare. ठीक है? So usually जो ये algorithm इसका जो use है, it is imagined as part of some other algorithm where this B is coming from somewhere, or in those situations where this B can be prepared very efficiently. Or actually physics में especially that I know, there are a lot of problem that this B is a very simple function. It's not very complicated. Okay, so this is what we want. We want bj lambda j uj. So bj uj is already coming here. All we have to do is figure out a way of multiplying this uj with lambda j inverse. And this can be done by having a circuit. Let's say this is some Ancilla bit, and then I have a single qubit here. This is also Ancilla, but this is single. And suppose we have a circuit that implements the inverse of this lambda j. Okay, and it implements in such a way. Actually, let me write it like this: that there is some block that computes lambda j inverse, and then we implement a rotation on this single qubit. It's a y rotation. So this is ry lambda j inverse of a single qubit. And let's see what would happen. So यहाँ पे जो state है, it is 0 times b. ये 0 जो है इसमें सब कुछ है, ठीक है? यहाँ पे कुछ है, जितनी भी ऊपर वाली bits हैं. And this b is bj uj, ठीक है? So this is what we have until here. So when we come here after QPE, this part gets these eigenvalues lambda j, and there are still some zeros left on the left side. So I get bj lambda j, and let me put a tilde that this state is proportional to the eigenvalues lambda j, because they may not be exactly equal to. So this is here. So we have this state over here. Now over here, we have something here. So this is lambda j inverse. So let me actually write this. So in this, at this point, we have the single qubit 0, then bj lambda j inverse, lambda j. This is also proportional to lambda j inverse. And then we apply a rotation on this qubit, y rotation by lambda j. And y rotation, by the way, is just this. Let me just recall it for you. That ry exponential minus iota theta by 2 sigma, this y matrix, and this can be written as cos theta minus sin theta cos theta. So this is the rotation matrix. And if you apply this rotation matrix to state 0, okay, ye 0 pe, then we get cos theta 0 plus sin theta 1. So this is what we get. And if, let's say I choose for this one, if we choose our angle theta to be, suppose, cos inverse of lambda j inverse. So I have implemented this circuit such that it gives a rotation with an angle theta which is equal to cos inverse lambda j inverse. So suppose if it does this, then this means that this 0 qubit will go to bj. 0 would be, so this theta is cos inverse lambda j. So when you put this theta here, this becomes lambda j inverse. And if you put this theta here, this is sine cos inverse lambda j inverse something. So into 0. So that something would actually be 1 minus 1 over lambda j square 1. And then we will have all of this lambda j inverse lambda j uj. So this is what we get. So in some people might say, okay, let's choose this theta is equal to sine inverse of this lambda j inverse. Then you will get 1 over lambda j here. and then with 1, and you will get 1 minus whatever over here. And actually, since this state, really speaking, is not going to be lambda j, but a multiple of lambda j. क्यों? क्योंकि आपको पता है कि जब हम फेज एस्टिमेशन करते हैं तो एक्चुअली इस जगह पे आता है 2 power n, if you remember. So this is actually what really comes here. And then when we do this R inversion, we might not be doing R inversion directly 1 over lambda. There might be some might be proportional to 1 over lambda. So there might be a constant over lambda. So in general, instead of just writing lambda inverse, you can also write it like this, lambda j, and this would also, this is some constant c. And actually this is a constant that we can tune, where we can tune by this, changing this t. Because this constant is multiplying with, क्योंकि जब हम इसको u में implement करेंगे Hamiltonian simulation में, we can choose a t that we want. Okay, so now after this, let's uncompute. Okay, let me explicitly give this uncompute part. So in uncompute, what I'm going to do, that I'm not going to touch this one, but this part. So this is lambda j inversion. So we are going to do this part again. So we start from 0 and we will go back to there, and this will be controlling this thing in the same fashion. And then over here, I'm going to implement the inverse of this quantum phase estimation. So I'll take Fourier transform, and then u and then Hadamard. So what we do, we start from here with 0 and we do something over here. So this is a change state, but this will end up in 0. This will end up in 0, which means that this part, this will become bj c over lambda j 0 plus 1 minus c square lambda j square 1. ये भी 0 कर दिया, ये भी 0 कर दिया. So 0, 0, uj. Now what we do, we do a measurement here. And if our measurement gives us 0, our state over here would be bj. So if we have collapsed to this state, so this goes away and 1 over lambda. And let's just forget this 0 for a while because they're there. So over here, we collapse to this state x that we want. So basically, quantum phase estimation, you find eigenvalues of A, you implement a circuit to invert eigenvalues of this A, and then you implement a rotation on a single qubit controlled by the inverse of this eigenvalues. And then you undo the quantum phase and the inversion part, and then measure this qubit. If this collapses to 0, your other qubit has you what you want. And if it collapses to 1, you start over again. But we can also do what we call oblivious amplitude amplification to amplify this state because we have this circuit. If you correspond it to some operator, then this is essentially giving us a probability proportional to this for measuring this, which we can amplify. So You can apply amplitude amplification instead of relying on this non-deterministic evaluation. The circuit that we haven't actually discussed about, and which becomes troublesome when it actually comes to implementation, is this invariant part. क्योंकि ये तो already straightforward implementation है. और जो invariant है, you can either do an exact invariant using designing a circuit in a classical way. So आप एक classical invariant circuit बना लें, उसको quantum में convert कर लें. So जो quantum circuit की invariant की cost है, it's going to be the same as the cost of a quantum circuit, and then you just have a single qubit rotation gate. So the place where you save operations as compared to the classical circuit is this part where we compute the eigenvalues. So this part is faster than the classical part. However, for this to work efficiently to solve the linear system problem, not the quantum linear system problem, for linear system problem, we will have to make sure that this B can be efficiently prepared, and also that this X state can be efficiently measured. क्योंकि अभी हमें जो X मिलेगी, it's going to be a superposition state. We don't know what these coefficients individually are. But a lot of people are using this type of circuit. Let's say if they're interested in computing some observable on X. क्योंकि अगर आपको X state नहीं चाहिए बल्कि कोई ऐसा observable चाहिए which depends on X. So essentially you have to find these types of quantities. So इस सूरत में you don't have to measure individual components of X. You just have to measure this inner product, and that's where the quantum advantage comes from for this type of algorithms. Okay. So समझ आया algorithm की क्यों फरहान? किस पार्ट में? ये बस ये पॉइंट है कि यहाँ पे आपको सुपरपोजिशन स्टेट में मिलेगा X. वो X मिला रखा हुआ है ना, B J C over lambda J U. So in the classical problem, you get your X like this, like 2, 3, 4, etc. So ठीक है, आपका वेक्टर यूं आता है ना. But here you are not getting this. आपके ये जो coefficients हैं, they are part of these amplitudes, and to find these amplitude you will have to perform measurement on this. और अगर आप एक दफा measure करते हैं तो आपको एक ही amplitude मिलेगा ना. ठीक है. For example, this can be written as suppose 2 into 1 0 0 0 0 plus 3 into 0 1 0 0 and so on. So when you do measurement, you collapse at one point to one of the eigenvectors. So you get one coefficient. Then you run the circuit again. Maybe you collapse to the same or some different. So you have to perform the state tomography to find the amplitude. So if you want to do that, then नहीं, ये तो छोटा भी होगा तो फिर भी फायदा. हाँ, तो नहीं छोटा हो या बड़ा हो, दोनों सूत्रों में फायदा. नहीं, आप इस पे तो तब करेंगे ना इफ यू वांट टू डू इट फास्टर. कर तो आप क्लासिकल पे सकते हैं. ये देखिए, आप तेज आप कंपैरिजन जब करते हैं ना तो यू स्टिल गेट इनटू द टाइम थिंग. नंबर ऑफ ऑपरेशंस काउंट करें तो क्वांटम रिक्वायर लेस नंबर ऑफ ऑपरेशंस.
X होगा, उसके लिए 1000 एलिमेंट्स होंगे. ठीक है. अब 1000 एलिमेंट्स में हम बार-बार वो ये पूरा सर्किट इसे एग्जीक्यूट कर रहे हैं. पर
नहीं कर रहे ना, मैं ये तो कह रहा हूँ अगर आप करेंगे तो देन देयर इज नो एडवांटेज. नहीं ना करना. मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि in this algorithm the goal is not really to find all of these coefficients. We are just content with this state in the superposition form, and then use it in some other circuit. For example, you have another circuit where you want to compute this observable. This you can do in one step without measuring the individual amplitudes. So ये तो मैं कह रहा हूँ कि अगर तो आपने लीनियर सिस्टम प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करना है तो देन देयर इज नो एडवांटेज, क्योंकि उसमें दो तीन मसले हैं। पहला मसला तो यही है कि अल्टीमेटली अगर आपको ये पॉइंट्स आई हैं तो यू विल हैव टू रन इट मेनी 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 टाइम्स, ठीक है। बट देयर इज अनदर प्रॉब्लम आल्सो एंड दैट इज इन प्रिपेयरिंग द स्टेट बी। इस बी को प्रिपेयर करने में भी टाइम लगेगा, ठीक है। सो at these 2 points you lose the advantage. So that's why I'm saying that this is a different problem, that's a different problem. And if you exactly want to solve that problem, then there's not really much advantage. This we use as part of a bigger quantum algorithm where the state B is produced by some other circuit on which you have to solve this part, and maybe and even at the end what you get, you are not interested in it in the state itself, but maybe something else. Mm-hmm. फ्रैक्शन वाला कौन सा? नहीं तो वो हमने क्यों करना है? नहीं नहीं नहीं, वो तो फ्रैक्शन, वो आप जो कह रहे हैं वो तो है नहीं, वी आर नॉट मेकिंग, बिकॉज पूरी स्टेट यहाँ पे आ रही है, वी आर जस्ट यूजिंग इट टू कंट्रोल सम रोटेशन, वी डोंट नीड टू नो द स्टेट। हाँ कि ये there's a set of qubits, so it's something like this. That ये जो आपका वो F3 इनवर्स वाला पार्ट है ना, उसके बाद से आपको यहाँ पे वो स्टेट मिल रही है, and then you have some these qubits all the way. We are not trying to measure them individually, क्योंकि measure करना, क्योंकि कहीं measurement तो लिखे नहीं हुआ, we are just using this to control the rotation on that qubit directly, ठीक है। So actually the real way to do this thing exactly is that you then implement a circuit that computes inverses of these things, and then you implement a circuit that compute theta as cos inverse of these things, ठीक है, जो ऊपर describe कर रहे थे, and then you implement the control rotation with respect to that. But you can get a pretty accurate, not totally equal to 1 over lambda, but pretty close to that with a couple of only simple things. And let me show you how. For example, you have this qubit initialized to 0 state, and remember lambda here is, अगर ये least significant qubit है तो it's lambda 1. Let me call it lambda naught. This lambda naught. So this is lambda, and 1 over lambda, lambda inverse, is actually the inverse of this number, okay? So what you have to do, you have to compute a theta which is cos inverse of 1 over lambda, and then according to this theta you have to implement the rotation. So this is quite complicated. So what we can do, we can see one thing, we can do one thing that will do these things very quickly. Didi? हाँ मतलब वो करना पड़ेगा. So we just need a proportionality, क्योंकि वो constant at the end वो automatically state अपने आप को normalize कर लेगी. We don't have to worry about that. Okay, so we can do this actually very easily. और वो ऐसे कि instead of taking inverse and theta and all that, what you do like this. You implement a rotation gate R y of angle 2 pi over let's say 2 power n minus 1 controlled by this qubit, then a rotation of y by angle 2 pi 2 power n minus 2, नहीं ऐसा कहते हैं, इसको करते हैं 2 पाई बाय 2 से, इसको 2 पाई 2 पावर 2 ry, and I'll just give you the rational 2 power 3 and so on. So this is controlled by this is controlled by this is controlled by this, and then the last one is ry 2 pi 2 power n. अच्छा, उसकी वजह ये है कि देखें ये लीस्ट सिग्निफिकेंट डिजिट है. अगर आप लैम्डा को लिखें, जो स्टेट है, so let's say lambda n minus 1, lambda n minus 2, all the way to lambda 2, lambda 1, lambda naught. So डेसिमल में अगर let's say ये डिजिट 1 है और बाकी सारे 0 हैं, so this is the smallest. So when you take inverse of the smallest quantity, your inverse is the biggest. ठीक है ना? और आपका लैम्डा जितना बड़ा होगा, आपका इनवर्स उतना छोटा होगा. And if we want to implement a rotation proportional to the inverse, we should have a rotation which is inversely proportional to lambda, essentially, which means that the least significant qubit should give the highest amount of rotation. The second digit, this is giving a rotation which is smaller than this one. This is given 2 pi by 2, this is giving 2 pi by 4. So अगर आप इसको implement करें ना, तो this is still, I just want to caution, this is not still implementing a rotation proportional to 1 over lambda inverse, but this simple thing actually is getting very close to that. क्यों? क्योंकि इसको जरा देखें. At the end ये total rotation कितने की होगी? क्योंकि ये सारे ry गेट हैं, ठीक है? तो ry का मतलब है I can add all the angles 2 pi over 2, 2 pi over 2 square, and actually since they are being controlled, so this is being controlled by lambda naught, this is being controlled by lambda 1, lambda 2 is controlling this rotation, all the way to lambda n minus 1 controlling 2 pi over 2 power n. So 1, 2, 3, हाँ n तक. और ये कैसे इनवर्स को करस्पॉन्ड कर रहा है? लेट्स सी दिस थिंग. सो ये लैम्डा है, ठीक है, और इसमें लैम्डा में से अगर मैं 2 पावर n कॉमन ले लूं तो ये क्या बन रहा है? बल्कि 2 पावर n माइनस 1 कॉमन ले लेते हैं, तो ये बन रहा है लैम्डा नॉट ओवर 2 पावर n माइनस 1 प्लस लैम्डा n 2 power n minus 2 all the way to lambda n minus 1 over 2 over कुछ भी नहीं. So ये बन रहा, ठीक है. और ये जो थीटा है जो हमने इस तरह से इंप्लीमेंट किया, ये बन रहा है. अगर इसमें से आप 2 पाई भी कॉमन ले लें, बल्कि ये है 2 2 से कैंसिल हो गया, ये पाई कॉमन ले लेते हैं, तो ये बन रहा है लैम्डा नॉट प्लस लैम्डा 1, ये पाई कॉमन लिया भाई, over 2 lambda 2 over 2 square all the way to lambda n minus 1 over 2 power n minus 1. So इसको और इसको अगर हम कंपेयर करें तो this is almost an inverse relationship, कि जब आपका lambda naught over 2 n power, let's say your lambda naught is 1 and everything else is 0. So ये बन रहा है 1, तो जो थीटा है this is 1 and everything else is 0. So 1 का inverse 1 ही आ गया. And then so everywhere we see कि जो एंगल है it's inversely proportional to lambda 1. जब लैम्डा 1 है तो उसके करस्पॉन्डिंग एंगल इस तरह से है कि जितनी ये डेसिमल वैल्यू में ये छोटा है उतना जो एंगल है वो बड़ा आ रहा है. सो दिस सॉर्ट ऑफ अप्रोक्सीमेटली इंप्लीमेंट्स दिस इनवर्स ऑपरेशन. बल्कि आपका जो अब्दुल्ला इम्प्लीमेंटेशन उसमें उनमें भी उन्होंने ऐसे ही किया हुआ. बट ऑफ कोर्स देयर आर वेज टू मेक इट बेटर. ओके, सो लेट्स डिस्कस अनदर थिंग अबाउट जी जी. ठीक है, क्यों नहीं हो सकी? अगर ए आपका नॉन सिंगुलर मैट्रिक्स है 3 by 3, तो उसके 3 आइगन वेक्टर्स होंगे. और वो अगर नॉन सिंगुलर वो तीनों इंडिपेंडेंट होंगे. सो यू कैन स्पैन एनी वेक्टर इन अ 3 dimensional स्पेस इन टर्म्स ऑफ दोस 3 वेक्टर्स. सो इस तरह अगर 10 dimensional है तो वो तभी वही बात है, क्योंकि किसी भी स्पेस के अंदर जो बेसिस है वो आप किसी भी नॉन सिंगुलर मैट्रिक्स के जो आइगन वेक्टर्स हैं यू कैन यूज देम एज अ बेसिस टू राइट वेक्टर्स इन दैट स्पेस. ठीक है. So that's why you can write any B as a superposition of eigenvectors of any non-singular matrix, in that space. Okay, so let's take another look on this algorithm. ये जो algorithm है इसका एक जो दूसरा drawback है वो ये है कि you need actually a lot of qubits. अगर आपने let's say 3 by 3 problem solve करना है तो अगर तो वो general है तो आपको वो A को A प्राइम हर्मिशियन में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए वैसे ही वो 4 by 4 बन जाएगा. So that 4 by 4 requires 4 qubits to represent this B. क्योंकि नहीं, हाँ, so this B vector is so 4 by 4 होगा तो we will need so this is 4 by 4, which mean that this U and this B is a vector. So you need 2 qubits, right, to represent a 4 by 1 column vector. And then you need almost, there you need quite a many over here. It's like I think at least like twice of these to accurately approximate the eigenvalues. And then you need ancilia here to find the inverse, and then this one, and so on. And then we need very precise operations to perform this eigenvalue transformation and then on computation. So it's a circuit which requires a lot of resources. Or जो current devices हैं which are noisy and don't have many qubits, you can't really use this circuit for a problem which requires more than a few qubits. So then this is perhaps the algorithm that will be used a few years down the road, but right now its utility is less than what it can do later on. So people have been trying to find out variational algorithms that they can use to solve the same quantum linear system problem on quantum computer, but without using the phase estimation and all of this thing. And let's discuss one of the fundamental proposal in those variational algorithms. And then there are actually quite a few proposals that people have given to implement it on using a variational circuit. So let's now see variational quantum linear solver. Now, again, this is a problem that we have to solve, and our goal is to find a state psi of, let's say, some parameters alpha such that this state comes closer to this. If this is normalized, then you can forget about this thing. So basically, we want to implement a parameterized variational circuit that have some parameters alpha. And if we vary and optimize those parameters such that when we give some, state input, at the output, we get a state which is close to this state X. And we are given this vector B. We are either given many copies of this B that we can use it again and again, or we have a unitary operator that when you act on, let's say, some initial state 0, you can get B. So this is given that we have efficient access to a state vector B, and we have to find a state that is closer to this state X. Now we are not trying to solve the problem exactly. We are, trying to get a state which is as close to X as, we can get. So let's try to think of a variational circuit. Let's do it ourselves. So we have a circuit which, have some parameters, but then it will be taking as input state B, and it should take, as input this matrix A, and let's say some 0 state, and then it do something to the 0 state and give us at the output some state psi, which is a function of some parameter alpha. So it is some circuit that, does something to the inputs and give us some state. And since variational circuit, have part of them on quantum computer and part of them on classical computer. So the classical computer, as we know, minimizes some cost function. ठीक है? तो सवाल असल में ये है कि what should be the cost as function of, this vector B and A and maybe parameters that we should compute, that if we minimize C, our psi can get close to X. समझ रहे सवाल? That we have every variational problem, every variational algorithm boils down to this. अगर आप किसी भी problem को variational तरीके से solve करना चाहते हैं ना, तो the first thing that you have to think about कि कौन सा एक cost function हो सकता है कि जिसको अगर minimize करें तो हमारा problem solve हो जाए. And that's all about it. और वो cost function उसकी कुछ properties हैं. अगर वो हो तो वो बेहतर है. Number one, that it's easily computable on a quantum computer. Number two, it captures the gist of the problem. क्या उसको minimize करें तो वाकई जो problem है वो solve होना चाहिए efficiently. और let's say number three is के जो आपका cost function है कम से कम parameters के साथ जो है वो आप उसको कर लें. इस तरह की जो properties हैं, इस तरह की चीजों वाला हमारे पास function होना चाहिए. So can you think of let's say a way of coming up with such a cost function? Jidi? So one cost function could be phi तो है नहीं यहाँ पे, ये psi कह रहे हैं, ठीक है, माइनस p. So ये कह रहे हैं कि एक ही हो सकता है कि जो भी स्टेट हमने प्रोड्यूस की है, if we want to compute a cost function, इसको a से मल्टीप्लाई करें. अब कह रहे हैं कि a psi minus b. So he says that this could be, a cost function. पहली बात तो ये है कि this is not a cost function. क्यों? क्योंकि cost function you need to find a scalar number. This is a vector. आप कह रहे हैं यहाँ पे क्या लिखे? psi a psi इस तरह से. Whenever you have to think about quantum mechanical problem, it's always better to think in terms of geometry. So suppose this is, you know, your input parameters. Let's say the zero state, and we are doing it to something. And let's say we go to some state psi alpha, and suppose this is the state x where we want to go. We want to find this x, right? यही ना, हम चाहते हैं कि हमारा साई जो है वो इसके बराबर हो जाए. So we give input, let's say 0 to our box, and it does something and give us some state psi. So we want a cost function that take us to x state. Basically what you want कि जो ये state psi है, इसका projection जो x के along है वो maximum हो, और जो x के perpendicular जो भी state है उसके along इसका projection जो है वो 0 हो. तो अगर आप एक ऐसा cost function बना लें जो इसका projection perpendicular to this find करता है, तो then if you minimize that, you are guaranteed that your psi will be equal approach x. ठीक है बात? ठीक है ना अब्दुल्ला, कि अगर इसके परपेंडिकुलर इसका प्रोजेक्शन 0 को अप्रोच करेगा तो ये साइज को चली जाएगी, साइज के बराबर हो जाएगी. क्योंकि अगर ये साइज बिल्कुल ये आता है तो इसका प्रोजेक्शन इसके परपेंडिकुलर तो 0 हो गया ना, क्योंकि सारा इसका प्रोजेक्शन इसके अलॉन्ग है. So that's how, you know, with this simple logic, the only thing that I wondered that why it took so long for people to come up with this cost function. Anyway, so if you define a cost function like this, that first let me define some phi, which is some a psi alpha. So this is phi minus phi b phi, and this actually comes from this. फर्स्ट करें ये HP कोई ऐसा हैमिल्टोनियन है which finds the projection perpendicular to this, and then its expectation value in phi is our cost function, where HP is simply I minus B. Okay, क्योंकि ये जो HP है, what it does, अगर ये आइडेंटिटी है और ये B है, और अगर आप इसको लिख लें I को you know whatever minus the part along B, so then this essentially finds the part perpendicular to B. ठीक है जी? सॉरी, ग्रोवर roughly speaking, क्योंकि उसमें भी ज़ाहिर है you want to go towards your solution state, but यहाँ पे ये है कि ये जो HP है ये बेसिकली प्रोजेक्शन फाइंड करता है आपकी स्टेट की परपेंडिकुलर टू बी. ठीक है ना, क्योंकि अगर मैं सिर्फ इतना लिखूं, सो दिस इज प्रोजेक्शन अलोंग बी, अगर इस हैमिल्टोनियन को आप ऑपरेट करते हैं किसी भी स्टेट पे, तो दिस विल गिव यू इट्स कंपोनेंट अलोंग बी. तो आइडेंटिटी जो है इट्स द टोटल स्टेट वट एवर द स्टेट इज. और अगर इसको लेट से आप किसी स्टेट HP को अप्लाई करते हैं HP phi पे, तो दिस विल गिव यू the state minus the component along B. So the net is the component perpendicular to B. So this finds a part of this state phi which is perpendicular to B, because we want this A psi to be along B. ठीक है ना, ये जरा देखें, यहां से आ जाए. So this is the problem. You want an x such that ax is along b, right? You want an x such that ax is equal to b. तो अगर प्रोपोर्शनलिटी को ध्यान में रखें, so we want an x such that ax is along b. तो इसका मतलब है कि जो भी हमारी वो साई स्टेट प्रिपेयर कर रहा है, which we want it to be equal to x, ये x के करीब पहुंचेगी अगर a साई जो है उसमें से जो पार्ट भी b के परपेंडिकुलर है उसको आप निकाल दें, उसको मिनिमाइज कर दें. So this HP computes the projection which is perpendicular to B. So if you minimize this thing, this cost, then you should be able to get a state psi such that your answer approaches x. I didn't see any logic with this thing. So let's see what is this. ये state है, this is A psi. So this is यही तो नहीं है. And this A psi is basically phi, and this is B. तो इसकी नाम जो है, इसको आपने इसकी नाम किस स्टेट में लेनी है? So this is a state. So just इसकी मैग्नीट्यूड फाइंड करनी है. So if you just find its magnitude, let's see. So this would be psi A dagger minus B A psi minus B. क्या ये चीज ये बनती है? So ये बन गया phi into phi. तो ये वाला पार्ट है, ठीक है. So A phi into B आ गया प्लस BA phi आ गया. So this is actually similar. This is not far away, I would say. नहीं, वो कंपटीशन तो अलग बात है. अगर लॉजिक की बात करें तो आई थिंक दिस कास्ट फंक्शन कैन आल्सो वर्क. क्यों? क्योंकि दिस इज एसेंशियली डूइंग द सेम थिंग. सो बेसिकली यहां पे आप ये कह रहे हैं, आप इस बी को उठा के ले गए उधर, ठीक है. सो दिस इज योर ए साई माइनस बी, एंड इन जनरल तो जाहिर है इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू बी इक्वल टू 0 अगर आप एक्स कोई भी साई लेते हैं. सो योर गोल इज टू मेक इट क्लोज टू 0. So I think this cost function can also work in exactly the same way as this one, because it has its logic right. I don't know, maybe थोड़ा सा उसको ना जरा डिटेल में देखना होगा गेट्स काउंट करके, but I can see that it has the right logic. Okay, so आपको अब समझ आ गया कि अगर आपने इस प्रॉब्लम को वेरिएशनल में ट्रांसफॉर्म करना है, so what should be the appropriate cost function? The only thing now is this, that we need to have a circuit to compute, let's say, these things. उस पे आप कह रहे हैं इसको उससे कर लें वेरिएशन. हाँ हाँ. सो दिस इज योर कॉस्ट हैमिल्टोनियन. हाँ जी. हाँ, इसमें देन यू विल हैव टू मेक श्योर कि वो जो आपका इनिशियल हैमिल्टोनियन इट्स नॉन कम्यूटिंग विद दिस वन एंड सो ऑन. सो सारी चीजें मेक श्योर कर लें, देन यू कैन डू दिस. सो actually, to solve a problem using variational algorithm, in terms of implementation, this can have many forms, and that's okay, because all you need is a circuit with parameters and also an idea that those parameters span the part of Hilbert space where you think your solution is. And then you compute the cost, you send it to a classical computer, which optimize, send you a new parameter list, and you put it in the circuit, compute it again, and you keep on repeating, and that's how you can get your solution. Okay, so when it comes to implementing such algorithms, एक चीज ये याद रखें, जैसे इस तरह का भी सर्किट है, इस तरह का भी ये भी है, तो जरूरी नहीं कि आपका जो क्वांटम सर्किट है ये क्वांटिटी कंप्यूट करके आपका क्लासिकल कंप्यूटर को दे. You can just compute this part, and this part, and then give all these three things to your classical computer. क्योंकि इनको मिलाना, it's not a big thing. इसी तरह अगर आपने इसको करना है तो there are 4 terms, so you can have 4 circuits that compute these terms and give it to the classical part. और इन सब के अंदर at the end जो terms compute करने वाली आती हैं, they're all of this form. That usually you have to supply, let me call some C, which is some state, I don't know, some psi, some operator U, some psi. So actually, let me even make it more general. There might be, some operator that come in this particular way. Let's say there's a V dagger here, U, V, psi. कुछ operator ऐसे हैं कि they come in this operator and dagger form, but there are some operator that come without this thing. So how to compute this thing? उसके लिए there is a simple circuit. It's called a Hadamard test circuit. So basically, you have seen this circuit many times again. So it's a single qubit circuit with a Hadamard, and then you have this state psi. और अगर कोई ऐसा गेट है जो यहाँ भी आ रहा है और इस साइड पे भी आ रहा है, on both sides, you just put this thing here. And then a Hadamard again. So with just this circuit, we can compute this part like this. और उसके लिए for calculations, let's go through it and see what happened. So ये 0 psi है state, initial state है 0 psi. After this Hadamard and this V, it becomes this becomes this, and then after this part, this is the control U. So this becomes 1/2 0 V psi plus 1 U V psi. ठीक है कि जो 1 qubit है वो state उस पे U लग गया, जो 0 वाली उस पे U नहीं लगा. Now over here, after this Hadamard, so this 0 goes to plus, so this becomes 1/2 plus 1, and this 1 becomes minus state. Like this. And then अगर मैं 0 को combine कर लूं, so this becomes identity plus U into V psi, or plus 1 identity minus U V psi. So let me just call this some psi star. Psi star is V psi. So ये बन गया. अब you do a measurement here, and if you get 0, the state over here collapses to this thing. And if you get 1, the state on the other side collapses to the psi minus U part, which means that the probability of getting this 0 is 1/. for psi prime I plus u psi prime. Okay, so this is psi prime I plus u psi prime. And from here, we can write it in two parts, psi prime I psi and this one. And then similarly, you can find probability of 1. So you'll get with minus sign. And if you subtract from P of 0 and P of 1 जो है इनका subtraction ले, you subtract the identity part and it becomes half psi prime u psi. So आप जो classical computer है ना उसको बस probability of 0 और probability of 1 भेज दें, it will compute this quantity by just taking their difference. So और अगर आपके पास इस तरह की चीज हो, let's say ये v नहीं कोई w है, so then all w u v they will have to kept in the control part. So basically जो गेट एक दफा आते हैं they have to be controlled. जो गेट इधर और उधर वो symmetric form में आए they will come once without control, and then with this Hadamard test you can compute these types of cost functions and send them to the classical computer. So the net variational circuit is of this form. Let's say start from 0, apply some u gives you b, and then start from 0, apply some circuit v alpha, and you get psi alpha. So then you do your Hadamard test on these states, and you can work out the cost function in a classical computer and send the updated parameters, and this can compute your optimum parameters alpha. And now you can choose the number of gates and number of parameters you want, and जितने ज़्यादा होंगे उतना आपका सर्किट ज़्यादा accurate हो जाएगा. Okay, any questions? No? Good, so meet next week. अच्छा, next week I'm not sure कि Monday का क्या होगा, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ पंजाब ने लाहौर में मंडे को एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशंस हर मंडे को बंद करने का कहा हुआ है, तो हो सकता है कि क्लास ऑनलाइन ही हो टोटल. तो अलबत्ता अगर ऑनलाइन क्लास हुई तो आई विल स्टिल बी टेकिंग इन हियर, और मेरे ख्याल में कैंपस एक्सेस तो ब्लॉक नहीं होगी. इफ यू वांट टू कम यू कैन स्टिल कम, और अगर आप ऑनलाइन लेना चाहेंगे तो यू कैन टेक, अगर छुट्टी होगी यूनिवर्सिटी ने ऑनलाइन का कहा. देयर इज अनदर पॉसिबिलिटी व्हिच आई डिसलाइक मोर, एंड दैट इज के हो सकता है क्लासेस ऑफ करके कहें कि वो रीस्केड्यूल हो जाएंगी जाके डेड वीक के अंदर. सो देन आई डोंट नो व्हाट स्मोक की वजह से. It's some kind of solution that they have come up without any regard to education of people. सिर्फ उन्होंने कहा कि जो एजुकेशन अदारे हैं वो बंद रहेंगे, स्कूल कॉलेज यूनिवर्सिटियां ये बंद होंगी.
तो सर ये मंडे को क्यों?
बस वो कह रहे हैं कि नहीं वो they just want to make it 3 days consecutively. So Saturday Sunday is usually off already. So Saturday Sunday Monday 3 दिन लगातार बंद रहेंगे तो शायद थोड़ा धुआं कम होगा. करना भी था तो जुमा कर देते, ठीक है, which makes more sense. चले लोग इस बहाने जो जुमा नहीं पढ़ते वो जुमा भी पढ़ लेते, तो कुछ लोग पहले छुट्टी करते हैं जुमे वाले दिन. ठीक है जी, फिर लेट्स सी.
चलिए सर, थैंक यू.
अल्लाह हाफिज़.